Hey guys, this video is going to talk about the carburetor governor linkages on the Pulsa Prime type carburetors. This also applies to the older carburetor, which I believe is called a Varijet or just a Pulsa jet maybe. I can't really remember, but it looks just like it, except it don't have a primer button. It actually has a choke that works off the diaphragm. The linkages and everything are very similar, if not identical. We're going to take the air filter off, get the screw loose, and also remove the bolts on the flywheel shroud just so I can show you everything. This is also a good time to clean out any of the cooling fins. And this was actually sitting in there, which is probably why the governor didn't seem to be working on the previous video when I got this carburetor fixed. This is probably one of the most simplest designs you will ever find on any type of small engine. This is called an air vane governor setup. This is like on a lot of engines will be a mechanical governor with weights that sling out, which it works the same. This is just a little simpler to set up, and it's very reliable. So you have two springs set up on these. This is the idle speed spring. This is your main throttle spring that you can adjust on this type. Some of these are fixed, and we'll look at another one that's got a fixed setup on it here in a second. But you see, you get this real short linkage here. Get this real short linkage. It's got this loop in it. That's where both the springs loop into, and it just goes through this side of the governor arm into the hole in the carburetor throttle plate. It has stops in there, so it can only go so far. This is the other push mower. This one appears be a completely different setup. It may have an internal governor, but whether it does or not, this is the kind of like where the fixed setup will look on this. You see there's no manual throttle, and to adjust the high end you just bend that tab right there to change the tension on the spring. So you can bring it down to an idle if you want a real low RPM, or if you want it closer to what most push motors are governed at, you can bend that tab to approximately 2,800 RPM for most push motors. Okay, so I was going to briefly talk about how a air vane choke would work. And a lot of carburetors have that on the newer engines made in the last 10 years or so. And there'll be a second air vane like this. It looks very similar to this. And it'll be under spring tension, kind of like this is. But, so it'll be like this while the engine's not running. And they would move a linkage just like this to close the choke, so to shut the air intake off almost. Then as soon as the engine actually starts, the RPMs start coming up, so the airflow increases, so it'll overcome the tension of the spring, and therefore open the choke up. So it works basically the same, but kind of backwards as the air vane governor. Hope that makes sense. I wish I had one I could show you on, but I don't have one. But it's very similar to this. Well guys, I hope that explains how this setup is on this. Again, you see this tab's bent quite a bit because it was acting up like it was trying to run too fast. I figure that's because all that grass was in there and the governor couldn't work right. So that's probably what the issue was with that. We'll try it again one day. I did run the gas out of it because the tank did appear to be leaking. So, well guys, if you got any questions or comments about this type of linkage governor setup, feel free to leave a comment below. And also, if there's a particular engine that you want to see the linkages and carburetor information on, let me know, and if I have one, we'll try to make a video on it. I'm a little helper for the day, fly. So thanks for watching guys, we'll catch you later.